think it's better. Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay, so hello. We're going to try this WYSIWYG today with PK, and we are just painting. PK is one of our local artists. You can find her in our studio, and she's painting a flower. We're just sitting here chatting and painting and talking about what she offers as an artist and through the studio. So PK does a lot with color, right?
I love color. The brighter the better for me if it jumps off the page. In fact, I've discovered some paints that are almost iridescent.
Ooh.
They're so cool. And I've been trying those out with some watercolors, and it's just a very exciting medium to work with.
And you, when did art become part of your life?
When I was young, I was in school, and we had a class on pouring sand into a mold. It's like a reverse process that you make a face or whatever your image is into the sand and then pour your plaster Paris into it. And my teacher was very supportive about that, and I was very excited about the result. And from that I started painting and sculpting and just all kinds of things, and finally went to school and decided to become a painter.
So have you been a starving artist your whole life?
Absolutely. The starving artist part seems to go well with painters. I know that we would all like to sell our work, so.
And you can find her work up here at Against the Grain. We have a couple of pieces of hers that are up here for sale. Is this some of the vibrant color things you were talking about just now?
Yes, yes, yeah, it is.
I love this, and I love the vintage truck. And she's got a couple other pieces here that you can find in our gallery. And she also is the teacher of our beginner painting classes. So she will walk you through techniques and steps on how to paint. It's a 4-week session, and they're just weekly, and they will go over techniques, and then at the end we put it all together and try to figure out how to paint. So,
excuse me.
We're dealing with allergies, man. It's the area. But we're painting flowers today. As you can see, PK's. I'll reveal mine to y'all because mine's kind of weird. This is mine, and you know, I'm an artist of spaces and art studios and bringing a community together. So that's my medium is people. I love bringing people together, and so I love that PK is part of that too with her classes. I think she's already had some classes up here at the studio, and they've done really well. She's had a lot of good reviews, and she had several people in that class that learned to paint. This next class is going to be a little bit different from that first class, which is good because it's keeping it nice and fresh. And ooh, my drip just went right through my flower. Whoops.
We're going to try some different techniques. I want to teach about texture and teach about light and dark and maybe a still life, so that we can know how the color reacts to different things and just make some happy pictures.
Happy pictures.
I'm not trying to be Bob Ross. I love him to death. I don't paint happy trees, but I try to paint happy pictures.
That's what it's about. And it's about trying something new and enjoying yourself, and not always the end result, because we just, you know, her and I, we believe that everybody has the creativity inside them to be an artist, and we want to just help bring that out. And tell us your views on that, how you believe art works for people.
Well, I always tell my husband to pick up the brush, but I think whatever we're doing, we are bound to be creative at it. And once we introduce new things, you know, for people that come in for their first painting class, it's a brand new venue. And it's very exciting to see the light bulb come on and people understand how to make that flower incredibly vibrant. I was so proud of my students during these last classes. They learned some really good techniques about flowers and water, and I think that most of them were very excited when they left this class because it was fun.
It's fun.
I mean, you just sit down. It's kind of like sitting down among friends and having a little paint party.
Yeah.
And we learned something, and it's pretty cool.
And it's different than what's being offered in this area. You know, we're not. It's not a painting by numbers. It's not. It's a true class where you're gaining some insight on how to do it, and it's not just about walking away with a certain piece or whatever. Like, these are techniques that you're going to be able to take home with you and apply if you like, and then start exploring with them. Because, you know, once you learn the basics, then you can start being experimental in how they work in other things. How's your flower? I like it. It's got this, like, is it a Van Gogh? Or, I don't know. It's just very whimsy. I love it.
Whimsy. I like that word.
I like whimsy. I'm just watching water flow down. It's really hard to be whimsical for some people, you know?
Well, it's hard to loosen up when you're in front of the canvas.
Yeah.
And nothing has to be perfect.
No.
It's all, for me, as long as I can learn or keep in mind that it's practice.
Yeah.
It's just practice. Every time I do a painting, it does not have to be perfect, because it never is, I guarantee you. So if we can have, you know, a fun attitude when we come to class, it's going to be fun every single time. It's just awesome.
Yeah. And I think that's what people found out last time when they walked in, you know, that they actually had a lot more in them than they realized, and they could do more. And with your guidance too, there to help, you know, that's always less intimidating. And seeing that they walked away with a piece that they did, you know, where you helped guide them step by step, but it was more than just that. It was technique, and I think you're going to go a little bit deeper with that in this next class, is teaching more technique and you know, creating artists and people, and you know, people hate that. Even artists hate that term, artist. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
There's some that boast. Well, I'm an artist, you know. But then most artists that I talk to, you know, really shun away from that term, and those are the ones I think are the true artists, you know. But
art is a humbling experience for me. It is such a gift, and not to sound hokey, but I want to share that gift with others.
yeah,
You know, it's just a blessing for me to be able to do that. And that's why I'm so excited about coming down here for these classes.
and I'm just excited to have you as part of our studio here. Your people always admire your pieces, and they bring a lot of vibrancy and life into the studio. And I like the vintage feel to it too, the context, and she's just a really cool person. Let me tell you, I will flip out, you know, be crazy, neurotic sometimes, and anxious, and PK is like, it's all good, you know.
It's okay.
It's all good. Just chill out, enjoy the moment, and
Breathe.
breathe. She constantly reminds me to breathe. I guess I forget to do that sometimes, but that's what's so cool about PK, is that she's very loving and very kind and very encouraging.
You are too sweet.
And you know, that's what we all want to be, I think. I would hope so. So we're going to sit here and continue painting our little flowers.
I started these flowers out to be cactus flowers, and they have become something way different than cactus, and that's okay. It's simply a creation.
That is the beautiful thing about art is there's just no mistakes in
Absolutely.
it, and then you just go with it, you know. Like mine. I mean, I did a flower. And,
Yay!
And then I just played.
I like the drips too.
I just played. I like not so.
Where's mine?
Yes, I love that. I would buy that.
I would sell it to you.
Well, anyways, join PK and others at our beginner painting session. You can find it at Against the Grain Art Studio or Against the Grain Studio on Facebook, and you can also find it all the sign-up information on atg-studio.com. And you know, participate in what we have going on up here because it's for you, and we want to give back, and we want to make this place a better place, and we want to acknowledge all the local talent that we have and let them be a part of your life as well. So
This is a fantastic studio, y'all. It really is.
Thank you.
Experience is wonderful.
Yay, I love it. So anyways, thank you for joining us on our WYSIWYG Wednesday. Next week we'll have another artist, and we'll enjoy our time together. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Boop.